Hi guys! Good day to all of you. Coach I am Nava here once again. Today we're going to analyze the only decisive game happened in the round number 9 of the ongoing SuperBet Chess Classic Romania 2023 between Super Grandmaster Bogdan Daniel Deac of Romania and the 17th World Chess Champion Ding Lijian of China. At the end part of this video, I will give you an updates on their current standing. Okay, so let's get started. Deac played d4, Ding played knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, and b6. We have the Queen's Indian defense on the board. Now g3, classical approach. Bishop a6, development with an immediate attack on c4, and Deac simply played Queen c2 to protect the pawn. Now c5, giving pressure towards the pawn d4. Now d5, interesting advance. E takes d5, c takes d5, and Ding simply played back with bishop b7, doubling the attack on the d5 pawn. So maybe you are wondering why not knight takes d5? Because white has queen e4 check, double attack. And if black simply save his knight, we have queen takes rook, winning the whole piece and winning for white. Okay, so let's go back with bishop b7, bishop g2. So Deac doesn't care about his d5 pawn, and it's part of the theory. Knight takes d5, castling, bishop e7, then rook d1. The first move that justifies the sacrifice pawn to give pressure on the d file. And knight c6, good development move. Queen f5. So here, maybe you are wondering why not rook takes knight. Because black has knight b4, very strong double attack, winning the exchange. Okay? So meaning the sacrificed knight is trapped. Now, queen f5, let's go back. Then, Ding played knight f6, e4, good move, very strong, threatening e5 to kick back the development of the knight. Okay, the second move that justifies the sacrifice pawn on d5. Now g6 to kick away the queen, queen f4, then castling, e5, knight h5, and queen c4. So in this position, black has an extra pawn, but then look at the pawn on d7. Very weak and backward. Now queen c7, threatening knight takes e5, bishop h6, attacking the rook, knight a5, queen e2, then rook e8. Now knight c3, good move. Preparing to play knight b5 attack or knight d5, then rook a da, centralizing the rooks there. Knight d5 attack, very strong. Bishop takes knight, force. Rook takes knight g7, and this move was the novelty of this game. Previously, black played knight c6 here and the game went drawn. Okay? So let's go back with the novelty, new move, knight g7, rook a d1, battery, knight e6, and h4. Preparing to play h5 to weaken the kingside pawn structure. Now knight c6, h5 sacrifice pawn, now d6. Alright, so maybe you are wondering, why not g takes h5? It's a free pawn. Then white has knight d2, good move, very strong, maneuvering to e4 square, controlling the f6 and d6 square, and also basically to return back the pawn with queen takes h5. And look at the black king, very dangerous exposed king shield, okay? Especially the open g file. Alright, so let's go back with d6, e captures on d6, bishop takes d6, and queen c4. Of course, to remove from the very dangerous e file. Queen c4, knight e7 to kick back the rook, rook 5 d3, knight f5 neutralizing the bishop on h6, bishop c1, and knight e d4. Very strong outpost. Knight on d4, knight takes, and a4. Maybe Deac doesn't like the coming b5 here, attacking his queen. But then according to Stockfish, this move was bad. Better was bishop g5. Very sharp and pressure-giving move. Very strong. Energetic. Okay, let's go back with the a4. Now, queen d7, maybe to maneuver the queen on to f5. Now, bishop e3, kicking the knight. Bishop e5, strengthening to empower the knight on d4. Now, h takes g6, h takes g6, king f1 to protect the e2 square, to avoid the coming knight e2, something like that. Then king g7, planning to play rook h8 to give pressure towards the h2 square. Now a5, so at least to pressure the queenside pawn structure. Queen f5, bishop c1, another bad move has been played by Dayak. Better was queen c1. Okay, queen c1, what's the plan? Maybe bishop h6. For example, if black will play rook h8 here, then we have a takes b6, a takes b6, then b4. Okay, so what if rook h2, b captures on c5, then let's say rook takes g2, bishop h6 first, then king h7, king takes g2. Okay, so to prevent the coming queen f3. All right? So, but then, yeah, the position is equal. Very complicated still. So let's go back with the bishop c1, rook h8. It looks very strong, but then according to Stackfish, better was b5, attacking the queen. If queen takes pawn, then rook c8. So let's say queen takes pawn again, then black has an excellent move. Queen takes rook sacrifice, rook takes queen, then rook takes bishop check, rook d1, the only move, then rook takes machas in my native language. But then, meaning it's checkmate. Okay, so let's go back with the rook h8 and a takes b6, a takes b6, and f4. Rook h2, good move. There's no way for black to run the bishop because of the pin. So that's why rook h2 gives a tempo plus move. Rook 3d2, then rook h8, battery. It looks strong again, but then look at the evaluation, question mark. Better was bishop f6, preparing to play g5 or queen g4, threatening queen takes g3. Very strong for black. Look at the evaluation bar, decisive advantage for black. So let's go back with rook h8, queen d5, extra support, and to avoid the coming rook h1 sacrifice. Bishop f6, he offers an exchange of queen. He accepts it. Knight takes f5 and rook d3, protecting the pawn on g3. c4, good move. Rook a3, then b5, another strong good move by Ding, preparing to play b4 and g4 to neutralize the knight. But in this position, can you please guess the excellent or the brilliant move? I'll give you a couple of seconds to pause the video, and after that, we will go through. Start. Thank you very much, guys. Rook h1, excellent move, sacrifice. Bishop takes rook, rook takes h1 check, king e2, and knight d4 check. Very strong. Capture the knight. Why not king d2? So let us examine. If king d2, then rook h2 check. King e3 falls to rook e2, mate. If king c3, then knight c2 check. Only move rook d4, then bishop takes d4, machas. Very nice. If white king goes to e1, then we have bishop h4 check, king f1, rook h1 check, then winning the rook. Rook takes d1. Decisive advantage. Overwhelming advantage for black. Okay, so let's go back. That's why Deya captured the knight. Bishop takes d4 and rook a1, b4. Okay, so preparing to play c3 or b3. Now king f3, rook e1. to create a boundary of the king. F5 and simply G5. White is in sugzwang position, paralyzed. Why? Let's say if white will play king G2 here, then we have F6. King F3, B3. King G2, Bishop E3 ends the game. Okay? Bishop takes E3, Rook takes A1. Very easy for black. Okay, so congratulations to the 17th World Chess Champion Ding Lijian, and this is the current standing. Caruana leads only 0.5 with a score of 5.5 points. Ferrugia with 5 points. Wesley, Rapport, Giri, they tied with 5 points. And Duda with 4.5, tied with MVL. Ding Lijian, 4 points. Nepo, 3.5 points. Dayak with only 3 points. Okay, thank you very much once again, guys. I hope you learned and being updated of this game. If you haven't subscribed yet in my channel, please do subscribe and click the notification bell all to give you more updates on my upload videos. Thank you very much and I'll see you next time.